Good morning, welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. Now, today is going to be a little bit different to what we normally cover here in the RC Coffee Chats. Now, I do have quite a long list of notes here, which we'll be working from today. But number one is that we're going to have a couple of funnies because it's April Fool's Day, in short. But on a very serious note, is that it's around about my 1 year anniversary for flying RC models. So we're going to be taking a retrospective look at that today. Now, it is worth noting that if this is your first RC coffee chat, then this one is probably not the best one for you to start with. Go back to yesterday's. It's hash 160. Just look that up on the YouTube channel, and that would be a far more suitable one for you to start. And then at least you kind of know what we're about. Anyway. Now, we are going to be doing this episode a little bit backwards. We're going to start with some any other business, and then we're going to get into the main topic, which is that retrospective look into a year's flying for myself over the last year, in short. So, right, let's get to topic number one, and I need to just keep half an eye on the chat as well. Looks like the audio is good as well. Happy days. Andrews, morning Matt. I finally made it because I've not been to sleep yet. And by the way, you can see the live chat above my head. Right, so we do have some any other business to cover first. Number one is yesterday we were chatting about the TravelerPlane and a few negatives about it. One of those has been calmed down a little bit, which was the slop in the tail section. Apparently, that's what those two little pieces of plywood were for. You stick them in the nicely little design places, and it has stiffened up and stopped a lot of the slop in the tail section. So that's a bit of good news on that one, and a big hat tip to Ben. I think Ben's actually the creator of the model himself, and he got in touch and said, Matt, if you put these two little bits of plywood in the back and actually read the fucking manual, then it won't be as sloppy as what it was, which is happy days, in short. And to be frankly honest, I only read the manual to find the CG and then came back out of it. It was a straightforward build, you know. Anyway, next topic is the F3 wing is getting there. Now you'll notice that she has a bit of a shine to her, and that's because me and the missus, we laminated her yesterday. The lam went on ridiculously well. Oh, we did use some of the white, as you can see, or on that one, some white covering film from Hobby King. I don't know what it is with the white film. It's the same as the bright green film. It's a little bit thicker, and it really is temperature sensitive. We did try covering it with white originally, and that didn't go too well. And we gave up and then put some clear lam on it, and it went down immediately. So happy days. So that's what she looks like at the moment. And on the other side, so you can see she's a little bit naked at the moment. So yeah, we're getting there on that one. Give it a couple of days and she'll be ready for a maiden. So I'm looking forward to that. And also give you a heads up, the Team Legit Twin Zoo is the next model to get finished after this one. So yes, ooh, shiny, super nice. Yeah, absolutely. We did it, put it down, the lamb down on medium heat, and then we did all the wing sections. We did the bottom first, then did the tops, and then we went back over on super high heat, and then that just made it go like glass. Really came out really, really well. I'm really impressed with that lamb which we've got. And also talking about any other business, let's move across to Shout Out Corner, one of my favourite sections of these RC Coffee Chats. So let's move across to the screen, and this is where I can get to say a good morning to you. Now, I won't be making the fuck up which I made yesterday. I tried clicking on the participants button, but it doesn't list you all. So a very good morning to Turbo Tyler and Brad. We were having a really good chit chat before the show went live this morning. Then we were joined by Lauren, if I scroll down, and Ruds as well, Stickmix FPV. Scrolling down, as you can see, we've been chatting a fair bit here this morning. Good morning, Simon. Good morning, Elijah as well. Good morning, Go2499. Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Wolfgang. Another Andy. BMX. Good morning, Kev. Is in and out for the mention. Good morning, Kev. We know that you're travelling this morning. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Phil. Potato Warrior. Very good morning to you, sir. Andrew, good morning. Chris, good morning. Shalom, good morning. Scrolling down. Keep going down. Jim, good morning. And Colin, good morning. And Not Really Me, good morning as well. And apologies if I've been and missed your name. And remember, don't take it personally. It just means I've missed you in the live chat list. And by the way, you can see the chat which is going on live above my head. And of course, if you're watching the recorded version, you can ask any questions as you like in the comment section underneath this video as well. And I didn't forget this morning. I did say hello, Haz. You can watch it on the recording. So, like I said, a couple of funnies to start us off this morning, and then we'll get ourselves into the main topic today, which is that retrospective look to a year's worth of RC flying. So we're going to start at the beginning, and we'll go from there, in short. So, number one is that there are some new products on Banggood. You may not have seen them yet, so we're going to take a closer look at them. Now, I think the chat is in the way, so there we go. There are some washable adult printed diaper, reusable cloth, elder incontinence nappies for when the wife finds your Hobby King receipts. So, yeah, and by the way, links to these are in the Facebook group. Share them if you mates if you want to. We've got another one, which is a handbag. So this is a woman's contrast colour canvas tote handbag, good for at least 2 new RC models. And then my favourite one of them all is the electric power hand prod for cattle, dogs, sheep, animals, and wives that complain about RC models. That is products which I found yesterday on Banggood. Yes, the missus wasn't that impressed with the latter one, but it did make me giggle. And there were several more, but they were all very extreme, and I decided not to post them in the Facebook group yesterday. Right, let's get the chat back on. And so, yeah, happy days. I'm just trying. And have I missed anybody? Odie Odie Backer, good morning as well. Right, so let's get into the main topic of today. And I do have quite a big notes list, and I'm just going to put this on my screen here, and we'll leave the cattle or the wife prodder in the background. Okay, so I want to run through a couple of facts for you, just to set the background to today's RC Coffee Chat, which is, number one, is that I have only been flying for a year. Literally a year. Give or take a couple of days. And up on my screen, actually, I'll go and put this on the screen. This video was actually published on the, whenever we get this right, the 15th of April 2016. And that was only my 3rd flight with the AXN Cloud Surfer, so it was very much around that time when I had my first flights on that. And I can tell you my first RC flight with an RC model didn't go very well. Maybe a topic which we'll dig into a little bit later. But as you can see, I did pretty well. Now, there is a point of view or an attitude to life which I'd really like for you to pick up, and I'm gonna say it now, and I genuinely mean this, which is, number one, it can't be that hard, can it? And that was my approach to getting into the RC hobby, is that it can't be that hard, can it? And number two, fuck it, let's go and do it. Okay, that is my whole approach basically to life. Okay, it can't be that hard, can it? And then go and give it a whirl, you know? And RC flying really isn't that hard. And you should definitely say, fuck it, let's go and do it, you know? So that is my approach to life. So keep that in the back of your mind as we go through. I have put a link to that video. It's only had an epic 82 views. It's not very exciting at all. I mean, genuinely not exciting at all. But for me personally, it was very exciting because that was my 3rd flight and I had my daughter with me and she absolutely loved it just as much as what I did. And we will get to that topic a little bit later as well. And I'm just trying to keep half an eye on chat. Mr. Covert, there we go. Romper room, but at the end of the show. And good morning, Tom, as well. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep half an eye on the chat. Right, so let's get this back on the screen. So fact number one, I've only been flying for 1 year. I've had more unscheduled landings than most people would have in a lifetime. Okay, because remember, my approach to life is, can't be that hard, can it? Screw it, let's go and do it. And I've also probably landed in more trees than most people would do in their entire RC hobby career, you know? It's the way it is. The other one is that I have probably flown more models than most people would do in a lifetime. And I'm actually feel quite proud of being able to say that, is that I don't know how many different models I've flown, but I can tell you it's an awful lot of different models. I've flown some really good models, and I've flown some really not very good models, to say the least. I don't personally have and again, I'm going off my little notes here a little bit. I don't have a preference of model, if that makes sense. I love flying wings. I like normal fixed wings. I love FPV. I love slope soaring. I like flying fast. I like just sitting back in the chair with the goggles on and just thinking, I'm not working. What a fantastic view. You know, I don't have a real preference. Oh, I tell you what, the one preference which I do have, and the one common theme for all the models which I fly, is that they are all electric. I don't do IC at all, and I have no interest in IC at all. But please don't take offense if you're a big IC fan. I thoroughly appreciate why you love IC. And to be honest, there's nothing quite like the smell of fumes on the flight line. I totally get it. But for me, there's one underlying factor for all the models which I have. They are all electric. And to be frankly honest, I just can't get enough. So, like I said, in today's episode, we're going to be taking a retrospective look over the past year and the things which I've learned, and so that hopefully you can learn from my experiences as well. So I've tried to summarize, I'm going to try and summarize this last year into as short as possible as I can for both RC flying and this YouTube channel. A little bit. So we are going to go off topic a little bit as we go through. I am going to be sharing a few simple tips along the way. And at the end, we're going to be taking a look towards the future as well. So I am trying to keep half an eye on chat on the... Lauren says warbirds. Yeah, dirty little tip stallers. I don't really have any warbirds at all, because my experience with warbirds has not been good. That poor hurricane is now gone on to live with somebody else who will appreciate it and won't stuff its nose in the ground. Poor little thing. Anyway, let's move on. So, first of all, we need to look backwards. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start at the beginning. I know it's probably we've had this discussion before, and I know many of you got into this hobby by similar means, which is that, to do a Pacific video, which was some quads flying through some woods, but to set the scene is that, as many of you know, that I run two, soon to be more businesses, and for 4 or more years now, I have worked so hard. You've seen how hard I do work. Like literally 2 weeks ago, I had to put my hands up and say, look, work needs me. I need to go and code my ass off even more than what I'm doing. And I can tell you, for the last, literally from 1 week ago, it was 1, 2, 3 a.m. starts every single morning, and I sat here at the desk and I worked so hard to the point I need to go to bed. And sometimes that would happen at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Sometimes that would happen at 6 or 7 o'clock in the afternoon. And the reality is, it's just the way which I'm wired. Literally, by the time most other people wake up, I've already done like a full day. It's just the way which I'm wired. I work really hard. And equally, I now also play really hard. And do keep that in the back of your mind. Is that I have absolutely worked my tits off for like 5 years now, and it's been a long battle. So when you see me here with like new models and stuff like that, keep in the back of your mind, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I do vape, if I'm frankly honest, but I don't go out to the pubs and things like that. The RC hobby is my new hobby, if that makes sense, and I'm now a year in and I'm frankly loving it. So let's get into the topic here. So, how did I start with RC? Basically, I saw a video on YouTube of some quads chasing through the woods, and they had these these different coloured LED bars on the back, and it was just like, wow, that's really cool. And I spoke to the missus, and I said, look, it's going to cost about $1,000, you know? And she was like, well, mate, you don't really have a hobby, you don't really go out that much, you are a bit of a hermit, you know? Which I can be at times, you know. And she was really up for it. She said it'd be nice for you to have a hobby, and she really does like quads, to be honest. She doesn't like with the goggles down, it makes her feel seasick. But she was up for it, so I got the green card from the missus. Like fuck, no, like. Let's go. So I got myself a Tyrannus and went through a load of tutorials and built my first 250 quad. And turned out quads are really fucking hard to fly. Not the best ideal beginner's aircraft. Now, the thing is that I really started to get into YouTube then and watching a lot more content on YouTube. And I saw Sir Bruce, RC Model Reviews, and he, and XJet, of course, and he had... and was flying, and there was two of them, and I'm sure those of you which have been around a while have seen the episode where there was Bruce and somebody else which were chasing two AXN cloud surfers round in figures of 8. It was a beautiful day, and they were just doing figures of 8 and chasing each other, and they tapped each other and things like that. And I was just sold, you know. It was just that video, and it was just like, I've got to go and get one. I went and bought one pretty much immediately. So again, going back to like my early days with RC, a big massive hat tip to Sir Bruce. I know that he is what's the word which I'm looking for, like over a long period of time, he has been and helped us all with this hobby, and no amount of thank yous can really repay him for the amount of work and the effort and the time and the energy which he's put in into this hobby. And I literally yesterday I was just watching his video log, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. And by the way, if you've not seen it, you should go and watch it. So stick mix alcohol is a big shite. It makes people crazy. Yeah, you can imagine me. I'm quite loud now, and what time is it? It's 6:20 here in the morning, and I'm only on my second cup of coffee. Can you imagine what I'm like after a couple of beers? You know, so it wasn't for any other reason. I love drinking, I love socialising, but it was purely down to work, and I needed my head down. I knew that I was going to have to work hard, really hard, for a long period of time. I frankly just couldn't put up with the hangovers. So trying to work with a hangover is just impossible. So I never meant... I will have a sip of a can of cider if the missus got a can out. I have nothing against alcohol and like that. It's just a practical point of view. I just can't face the hangovers anymore, in short. But I don't have anything against drinking, and that's what it is. Right. So just trying to keep the pace on here. Okay, so now let's have a quick look. So it looked easy, and so I went and bought one. Now, my first experience of Hobby King wasn't a good one, because the supplied ESC which came with the XN Cloud Surfer, but they also didn't provide any glue as well. They said it was almost ready to fly, and they missed out glue. I did find that kind of surprising. And then the glue which I did bought, which was like some foam tack stuff from Hobby King, was utter shit. And again, I want to try and stay objective as possible, because it was utter rubbish, and the ESC which was provided was absolutely rubbish as well. Again, watching another video of Bruce's, he was saying about the supplied ESCs, they only come with a 2 amp ESC, so when you move all 4 surfaces, the fucking model browns out on you. So my first flight up at the flying club was not very good, because it's not responding. It just went off, and it just didn't respond to my inputs. And we flew it once, and it did that. So we went over and collected it, and we chucked it again. It did it again, and by the third flight, yeah, something's not right here. And went home, and I felt rather disheartened because of that. And then literally that evening I saw Bruce's video about changing the ESC over to one with a 3 amp back rather than the 2 amp back, and everything was good from there onwards. I think actually probably still got the original ESC. It was one of the blue Hobby King 30 amp ones with a 3 amp back in the original AXN Cloud Surfer, which I've got here. Yeah. Is there a new level above batshit crazy? Yes, it's called Matt with a beer in his hand. It's crazy. Yes, indeed. So, Tom, absolutely no idea is the honest answer to that question. Okay, so like I said, I am trying to keep half an eye on the chat as well, which you can see above my head. So, moving on. I got a replacement, and then the flight, which we can see here in the background, like I said, there is a link to that in the video description. I will put it at the end as well. It's not particularly exciting, but it is exciting for me because it was like my third proper flight, and I got my run camera and stuck it on the top, and I recorded the flight, and I was there with my daughter as well. Now, that is going to be a special note later in this in today's RC Coffee Chat. Now, remember that point of view. We went back up there, thought, can't be hard that, can it? And then we just lobbed it. And it flew fine. So that was only my third flight with the AXN Cloud Surfer. And the first flight, I can tell you, was not good. The second flight wasn't particularly good. And I cannot frankly believe that the AXN Cloud Surfer is still in one piece. It's literally over there in the corner. Oh, bollocks. Landed! I've just built a load of motor bits everywhere. Anyway, moving on. So I can't believe that model's still in one piece. And that flight was me up there with my daughter. We absolutely loved it. She absolutely loves it, and she always when we go flying, oh, you're going to take the white glider with us as well. So, but to be honest, that was it. I was hooked. Absolutely loved it. Now, the change in tack slightly is that I then went on to consume, and I mean this, every RC video available on YouTube at that point in time. Sir Bruce, Sir Andrew Newton, Flight Test, and every other channel which you can think of. I properly overdosed on RC content, but I quickly worked out, and by June, so that was in like April, by June you can tell how I have a slightly addictive nature at times, so I completely overdosed on YouTube. And by June I had basically consumed everything which was worth watching. And completely disappointed by the lack of daily RC content. I was going back and hitting like my subscription list, and there was nothing new in there at all. It was like really disappointing. So on June the 22nd of 2016, I decided to attempt to try and post a video every single day on RC, something related to RC, whether that be a flight or an info video or an RC coffee chat or something like that. And yes, apologies, I've got motor parts literally everywhere on the floor. That was my box with all the little screws and everything in it. It's gone everywhere. I'll be standing on that lot for a week. Right, coming back. We now have over 700 videos on this channel now. These RC coffee chats basically started because I wanted daily RC content, and I think that's the same for you as well. I felt that there was a massive lack of daily stuff going on, and I looked at like flight, and again looking at it from a business perspective, which was Flight Test. How do they actually make money? And come on, if there's that many people in that building, why are they not producing more content? I just don't get it. You've either got a passion for this hobby, and once you've got a passion for something, you can talk about it non-stop. And I'm sure that's the same with you and your partners and your family. Oh, Matt's talking about this, or Lauren's chatting about that, and Howdy Van, I just saw your name pop up. Is that I'm sure you get that too. When you've got a passion for something, you just can't stop talking about it. And I just didn't get that from Flight Test, like the pinnacle YouTube account. It's like, why the fuck are you not posting every single day? Yeah, sticking a few photos on Instagram really does not count, you know. Video, where it's at. So that's where that's where the channel came from. It was me just going, well, let's go and see if I can post a new video every single day. And I've pretty much achieved that, with a few times where I haven't, like literally 2 weeks ago, head down, must work. And no apologies for that. It pays for new models, okay, in short. So I'm sure you all appreciated the AWOL episode. And there has been a few days where I've missed an episode or two over the past 8-9 months, or however many months it is. And on some days I've posted one video, some days I've posted 7, 8 and 9 episodes, you know. That's the way it is. But this whole lot just completely started by accident. So I am just going to have a quick look at the chat. Henry says, been sober for 20 hours. Brilliant. Right, now, moving on. Like I said, we are doing a slightly different tact today, so it is a little bit different to normal RC coffee chats, and I'm keeping a very close eye on the time. So like I said at the beginning, if this is your first RC coffee chat, this is not the best one for you to start with. Go back to the previous episode, #160, much more suitable for you. Right, so number 2 was my approach to this YouTube channel. Number 1, three underlying factors. Number 1, be humble. Okay, so in other words, apologise if you've been a twat, admit when you've been wrong, all the common stuff. Just be humble in what you do. Number 2 was never lie. Okay, I feel that's a big important factor. If something is shit, tell the world it's shit. Okay, you might need to fluff around it a bit, but be honest in what you're saying. Okay, that's part of like in an integrity statement, like 1 and 2 are kind of like joined together, which then leads into number 3, which was just be me. Okay, and sometimes I get a little bit grumpy, mainly when I've been to the dentist. That's the one time which I can say I'm grumpy, is after I've been to the dentist. Besides that, I'm normally quite a cheery guy, and to be me. And the role which I have personally been assumed for this channel is to be Matt, aged 12 and 1/4. And that's how I feel on the flight line. So that's what I project to you. That's the way which I am. It's like if I was 12 and 1/4 again, why wouldn't I be excited about a model, you know? Straightforward as that. And there is a +1 to that one, which is that self-funded. This channel is self-funded. I've seen other channels do different things, and I've never really kind of liked it, particularly again as I started to explore the dynamics of different channels and things like that. I decided that self-funding was the way to go. That has allowed me to buy models and then give honest opinions of them. And I feel that's an integral part because that links back to 1, 2, and 3 for the channel. And I'm going to go slightly off topic and a slight little moan. Okay, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. Is that there are some channels out there on YouTube, they're mainly to do with quadcopters, who tell you it's a review, but tell you that they're not very clear at all. In fact, they don't even mention that they're going to profit from any of the links which they include in the video description, and are all cheery and fucking rosy about it. And I don't like that, because I feel that's lying to you, and that's why many of you have seen the introduction video to this channel, and I'm very open and honest with this. Now, because I took the self-funded route for this channel, it means that I get to play around, and I'm not restrained by having to worry about pissing off other players in the space, and I really don't care at all. Now, I can assure you that I have pissed off a few people at Hobby King. I know that for a fact, and thankfully Stuart Warren, which we had 2 interviews with him very recently, and unfortunately he's now moved on from Hobby King, could see past that, and he was smart enough to work out my approach and what I was doing. So a big hat tip for Stuart for seeing past that. Now, for the record, I really do like Hobby King. I am slightly annoyed about the Radjet not being available for £28 again, but I'm so getting myself a Sidewinder. So we'll get out of that in my approach section. Let's move on to the last but one section for today's RC Coffee Chat. And I'm just having a quick look on there. Yes, that is a serious point. I would love to buy a farm. And again, this kind of like stresses that I really am hooked on this hobby. And I'm just looking at Brad's comment there. Yeah, we were chatting about this morning before the coffee chat started. Is that I'd love to just go and buy a farm. And I know that I could get away with it in the Mystics, because you'd probably want a couple of horses, you know. And I just have unlimited flying space. That would be fucking amazing. That's like every little 12 and 1/4-year-old's dream, you know. Just walk out the front into a field. Brilliant. I don't know whether that will ever happen or not, so hey-ho. So Uh, Possibly someone's mentioned the name. There is another channel which really wound me up over the lack of clarity in what they do. But I'm not going to mention any names on this one. You probably know who they are by what they do. So anyway, like I said, it's their choice to do it, and I have no influence on what they do. But you do as a consumer. That's why I'm do my absolute best to be 100% clear with you. And I can tell you, like this one, we saw it come up in a Facebook group. I bought it out of my own money. I do have a couple of reservations about it. I've shared those reservations, but as I've now learned, we hold back on the final verdicts until it flies, because we've had models here which have been absolute dogs to build and they've flown absolutely brilliant, and then we've had other models here which have been really easy to build and have been absolute shite in the sky. So it really kind of boils down to like the whole package overall, and I'm trying to share as much with you so that you can make an informed decision on what is right, well, what's good and what's bad, and whether you'd like it or not. And there's so many different strains or little strains is probably the best way of explaining it, of different types of models in this hobby. It's brilliant. Right, let's move on. So what have I been and learnt so far? And the good news is most of it is good, okay, and some of it unfortunately is bad, okay. Now, number one, and I'm sure you're all going to agree with me, flying is fun. Absolutely love flying. It is just such a cool hobby, and I'm sure that you're all going to agree with me on that one. It's just kind of like a no-brainer at all. I love Riot. They're great. Who's the Australian guy in Final Glide? I love him. He's great. His sense of humour is off the wall. Let's have a quick look. Guns versus quads was cool. Yeah, sorry, I'm just seeing some of the chat which is going on there. Absolutely fantastic. I loved that episode. Even the missus watched that episode as well. She thought it was really good too. So yeah, I really like it. Mr. Still, he's really good too. I think, to be honest, no, I'm not going to pass any judgment on the YouTubers. Let's move on. So let's get back to topic. Flying is fun. Flying, it's also relatively straightforward as well. I'm not going to say easy because it does take practice. We'll get to that topic in a moment. But in short, flying is fun. Flying with an intended flight pattern is really fucking hard. Okay, so if going out and just chucking a model around, it's absolutely brilliant fun, and I'm sure that's what the majority of us do when we get out to the flight line. We just, hey, and off we go. No plan at all. But if you start trying to fly to a plan to try and do a specific set range of maneuvers in the sky, it's really hard. Okay, that's what I'm struggling with right now. It is really, really hard. Now, flying at flying clubs is great. There's lots of experience there. There's lots of people for you to chat about. There's lots of other people who share the same passion for this hobby. Now, unfortunately, we spoke about Abby, my daughter, or one of my daughters earlier. Sadly, me and the wife, we discussed this and we decided that it was not the best idea for Abby to continue coming with me to the flying club at the point in time, purely down to safety. Flying clubs are absolutely fantastic, but you are dealing with a mixed range of skills and age ranges that unfortunately does cause some issues around personal safety, which I'm sure those of you which fly together with mates, you all kind of know what you're doing. Unfortunately, when you have a wider group, that does cause some concerns. That has safety is a big factor for me personally. You may see me doing stupid stuff and things like that. We might think like stupid stuff, chucking a model around like 100 miles an hour, but you must always keep in the back of your mind, I have no personal attachment to that model. If I black out, that model's, I'm just down on throttle off, down on the stick. It's going in the ground without question every single time. And those are the guys which have flown with me, like Craig and David and Andrew, and many others as well. They've seen it when things, if something does go down, straight down in the ground, no questions asked, safety first. Unfortunately, not other people don't have that same perspective, and of course, I normally check over my models quite well. I don't like to assume that, oh, it flew fine last time, it's going to be all right this time, or take a really high-powered model out and then go and cane it and then wonder why it ends up in the car park, you know? So flying clubs are great. Let's not knock them at all. But unfortunately, me and the wife did make the decision that it wasn't the best for my one of my daughters to be with me. One of the flying clubs. So that has been a bad or a negative side to this hobby, which I found out so far, which I want to share that with you because I feel that it's important. Topic number what I've got here is D. It's only foam. Okay, so just going back to my few moments, it's only foam. It's cheap, you know, and if you do stuff it in, no matter what happens, as long as nobody gets hurt, it's all good fun. Okay, keep that in the back of your mind. I can imagine somebody who spent absolute ages building a model. You're going to have some personal attachment to it, and you might stuff it. Okay, don't feel bad. Just laugh it off. Okay, the best thing which you can do is get your phone out of your pocket and take a photo and stick it in the Facebook group, and we can all have a laugh together at your foam snow. Okay, all balsa, dead tree snow. Okay, just laugh it off. Okay, and I'm sure you're going to probably be pissed. I've been pissed when I've smashed a few models in before. But the best thing to do is take a photograph. Think of that day which we had. We had an RC coffee chat about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, and literally, goodness knows what you must have thought in the Facebook group. Literally, smashed up model, first one. One of them was the EF Extra, and I broke that one. And then I can't remember what the next model was, and there was a photo of that on the Facebook group. Then another model which I managed to stuff. Literally, I had a run of 3 bad flights, you know. And then the fourth flight was out with the Wings 84, and I had a 20-minute flight flying FPV, and it was absolutely fantastic. Okay, don't feel bad if you stuff snow, stuff a model in, or make foam snow. Just to get your camera out, take a photo of it, and share it in the Facebook group. Okay, we'll all laugh together because we have all been there in exactly the same position, most likely many times, if we're all honest. Okay, so let's have a quick look at what's going on in the chat. So let's have a quick look. Yes, Henry, that is a good point. Yeah, Abby does come out with me, and my other youngest as well. She does come out. She loves it. Absolutely loves it. And unfortunately, we don't have big enough space for her to learn to fly out the front. Maybe probably need to get some much smaller models. But she does really enjoy it. She does. There is a passion in there for her with models. It's just we've done our best to suppress it, which is an unfortunate side. Like I said, there are some bad things, and there's mostly good things. Okay, many of these things are very good. Okay, now the other thing which I've learned about this hobby is that it does not need to be expensive at all. Okay, I get as much enjoyment out of the cheapest of models compared to the most expensive of models. So I'm going to take the little DW, the little 600 Rainbow Wing, okay, which costs $15. I get as much fun out of that little wing as I do as my mini Drac, okay, which was rather expensive. Okay, I get exactly the same amount of fun out the pair of them. Completely uncomparable models. One's a little flying wing which I can chuck around the front. The other one's the mini Drac and does 140 mile an hour in a straight fucking line. It's batshit fucking crazy, you know? But I get as much enjoyment out of both ends of the spectrum. I know people will go beyond the overall total cost of the mini Drac and buy bigger, more expensive models. But the thing is that for me, I genuinely do get as much fun out of a piece of foam as I do out of an expensive piece of foam. I'd like them both. FPV is worth a special mention. And the reason why it's worth a special mention is because it is one of the best experiences I have ever had. Now, if you have never flown FPV, then I would personally say, okay, don't take this personally, I would personally say that you have never truly flown an RC model until you've stuck a camera on the front of it and flown it as first person view. This really is you as the pilot of an aircraft. And I'm not a big, like, real world aircraft fan. I know a few, like, aircraft, but that I have no, like, interest in that at all, like full-size aircraft. I haven't got to that level of nerd yet, you know. But FPV as an entire experience cannot be surpassed. So those of you which have been putting off the FPV experience, I strongly urge you to go and give it a whirl. Okay, choose a cheap model. Okay, a model you just don't care about. Get one of these little all-in-one cameras, stick it on the top, get a cheap headset, and just chuck it. Okay, once you get the hang of it, it is unbelievable, and you will understand why people just like me get absolutely consumed into FPV. Right, and that brings us to the last topic of today, and I've got 3 minutes left in my head. Okay, and apologies if I've missed any of your chat in the chat here this morning. So yeah, apologies if I've missed any of your chat this morning. I'm just trying to be focused, trying to compress this down into a small amount of like minutes as possible. So, but that said, it's time for us to summarize, and it's time for us to look towards the future. Right, on a serious point, I am seriously concerned about the lack of distinction between drones, I hate that word, quadcopters, and our typical RC models, because of the media's ability to be complete fucking dickheads, okay? And the masses are just complete sheep and just believe whatever bullshit they're told. When do you hear a news story such as, oh, sorry, the news stories which we've pumped out for the last 3 weeks telling you that a possible drone has been and hit an aircraft actually turned out to be a fucking Tesco's carrier bag. So I am seriously concerned about the future of the hobby because of the media and their ability, their just basic requirement to publish bad news. And drones is a fantastic story for them to follow on, and they've done really well of getting this out into the masses, but unfortunately it's been put out into the masses with a negative tone, which is just the nature of the news. And this, by the way, on a personal level, I refuse to watch the news. It is always negative. If it's really that important, you will find out about it by other means, by friends or Facebook, or just a chat in a coffee shop, for example. Topic number two, looking towards the future. In June of this year, it will be, well, the 22nd of June to be precise, I will have achieved my personal goal of trying to, or attempting to, post a video every single day for a year. Now, I don't know what's going to happen after that date, so I will be here, everything dependent, in here until June the 22nd, 2017. I have no idea what I'm going to do after that. I genuinely do not know what's going to happen. I said that back as originally as early as I could as well. My intention is to continue, obviously, in the RC hobby. I really enjoy it. You've seen my passion for models and what's going on. But after June the 22nd, I would have reached 1 year, which was my original goal. And I feel that I've had a bloody good stab at that. And like again, I am letting you know in advance that I cannot second guess the future. Topic number three here is that, personally speaking, I don't ever see myself getting bored of this hobby. I still get that little thrill on the sticks every single time I fly, whether I'm flying a little $15 piece of foam or a really expensive piece of foam, or something which flies ludicrously fast, or something which flies extremely slowly. I like them all. I don't see this passion going anywhere anytime soon. I think it's going to be with me for a long period of time, as I'm sure it is probably for you. And there's nothing quite like sticking the goggles down. So that is the topic which I wanted to come today, it was a retrospective look at a year's worth of flying. As we saw, it was a bit of a roller coaster ride, especially at the beginning. Things didn't go quite as well as I planned. But remember, my point of view with the whole hobby and everything in life is it can't be that hard, can it? Let's go and give it a whirl. Okay, that kind of attitude gets you into good problems. Okay, it's just the way which I'm wired. Okay, if I just scroll back up on my notes, that's how we got started. It was quads which got started me in this hobby, but as it turned out, I really just didn't get on with them at all. And big, massive hat tip to Sir Bruce. In fact, it probably I wouldn't be sat here if it wasn't because of Sir Bruce. And thank you is all I'm saying on that topic. We heard about some of my thoughts about YouTube as a whole and that desperate requirement for some daily RC content. And I am going to apologise, and I sincerely mean it. Today's episode has been maybe a little bit self-centered, okay, because it's my history and I feel a little bit bad about sharing this with you. But I do, on the flip side, do feel it's important so that we can have a look, like an overall look of what everything is going on with this channel and myself and you as a viewer. Indeed. So scrolling on, let's have a quick look. I'm just scroll, and again, you can see I prepared quite heavily for this morning. Those 3 points of view: be humble, never lie, and be me. Okay, and also do your best not to be biased by a third party. So some days you'll see me having a moan about, I'm going to say Hobby King. Okay, sometimes they warrant it, you know, but I don't want to be tied down to not being able to say that. But on the flip side, we've got to give them due where credit's due, and I try to play as fair as I can. So some days you may be thinking, oh, Matt's playing hot today or blowing cold today. No, I'm just reacting to the circumstances which we are together setting with a provider, or it could be anybody else. I'm just picking on Hobby King as the example here. So I try and be as fair as I can, and ultimately you are the measure of whether I'm being fair or not. So if you feel that I'm being a cock on a specific topic, please tell me. Like I said, topic number 1 was be humble. So if you think I've overstepped the line somewhere or not being fair, then I use your reaction as being the feedback for it. We then went over and covered some of the things which I'd learned about over this last year. Flying really is fun. Trying to fly with a pattern is really hard, I hasten to add. And ultimately, if you've never flown FPV before, you should definitely give it a whirl. There is no other experience quite like it. It is absolutely unbelievable. And you don't need a fast plane, you just need something slow and gentle and just chill out and enjoy it, because it is one of the best experiences which you can have as an RC pilot. And then we had a look towards the future, basically seriously concerned about the media and their ability to spin BS. Whether it's true or not, they will still spin it. And unfortunately, as modelers, we are on the stick end of the bad side to it. So I am concerned about that for the future. Made that note, June the 22nd, 2017. This channel will be running for a year. I genuinely have no idea what's going to happen after that. So, like I said, I can't second guess the future. And topic number C is the last one. I don't ever see myself getting bored of this hobby. Absolutely love it. I'm not a big fan of the build stage, to be honest. I frankly would rather be flying. The sun's come out, and the only reason why I'm still sat here with you is because I know it's still raining out there. And as soon as that rain goes off, I've got that red Edge 540, which you can just hang on. No, get this right. No. There, that one. That red Edge 540. I'm going to go and maiden that one out the front in a minute because the wind's quite calm. And we're going to go and give that one a spin. So, what can I say? All I can say is thank you. And I've seen how much chat has been going on here in the background. Apologies, I haven't really been able to focus on your chat and cover the topics today, but I genuinely like to just say thank you. I never envisaged when I first started this that we would have something like over 3,000 people who would subscribe to listen to me chat about RC. I just knew that there was a requirement for something to go out daily. Number two, I never believed that there would be over 700 cool pilots like me and you in the Faceballs group, and all with the similar attitude, which is, oh dear, I better get my phone out. I'll stick that on Facebook. And it is the weekend, so it's going to be a phone party this weekend. I am looking from you for new header images for the Facebook group. So if you do stuff one in an unscheduled landing this weekend, do post it in the Facebook group. Like I said, I'm looking for new header images. So on that note, I really am going to wrap up now. Thank you ever so much for joining me for today's RC Coffee Chat. And I shall see you again tomorrow morning. Now, I'm saying that with some reservation, because if I show you the Sunday weather, it looks absolutely amazing. Look. Sunrise 6:45. So tomorrow's RC Coffee Chat is going to be a very quick one, because I'm going to be out that door and catch the sunrise in via FPV. So that is the weather we have here in the United Kingdom. Wait for it. Of beautifulness. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So tomorrow's RC Coffee Chat will be a very quick one, because Matty's going flying. And I can't wait. So on that note, from myself, Matt, it is time for me to go. If you have enjoyed today's RC Coffee Chat, apologies, it has been a longer one than normal. We did have a special topic to cover. Do me a favor, press the thumbs up button underneath this video. If you have any comments or questions about the topics which we've covered today, please just ask them in the comments section underneath this episode. And if you're not a member of the Faceballs group yet, there's a link to that. Not that, but hang on, there is a link to that in the video description underneath this episode. It's free to join. There's a join button in the top right hand corner. Click the join button, and we will see you over on Faceballs very, very shortly. So on that note, from myself, Matt, if you are out flying today, have fun. Remember that flying is fun. Okay, if everybody walks away from it at the end, that's classed as a good day's flying. And on that note, I'm going now. Cheerios.